Hi guys, welcome to Crazy Burger. Today we're looking at the latest firmware upgrade for the C64, which is also for the C64 Mini and the VIC20. This has just been released as of February the 1st, 2021, and obviously we only got an upgrade fairly recently, but they've been promising more updates, which is quite interesting. So if you go to the site, retrogames.biz, you can find the update. If you see at the top corner here or in the middle, upgrade VC64, click on that. This will give you some descriptions of what to do, and you download the C64 1.5.1, which is quite cool. I will put a link in the description how to actually update this. I've done this many times. Please refer to a previous video if you do not know how to update. Let's look at the changes that are in this new version. So, changes and additions. All models adds joystick port selection, so you can change whatever joystick port you're going to be using. That'll be quite interesting to see how that actually works. Adds C64 only classic mode added to the C64 Mini. That was quite cool. Adds, and this one's quite important that a lot of people are looking for, adds disc swapping added to the C64 Mini. And again, I'm not entirely sure how this actually works, so we'll maybe test that on the video and see what happens. And there's some various other changes to the REU support with different file names and flags. There's also new games that have been added for the various formats. The C64 Minis getting Hessian and the Pet Snake, both of which are fairly newish games over the last maybe 4 years maybe. And there's some additional games also for the full C64, which is City Crusher and Minesweep. City Crusher and Minesweep being VIC20 versions, which is quite cool. So that's all the changes. I think the main ones are most likely the REU support, the joystick port sort, and the disc swapping. So hopefully that will solve a lot of people's issues that they've been experiencing, crying out for the last few years. So this will be very interesting. And guys, this is just some of the old text from the other updates and how to actually process the upgrade. It's quite straightforward. It's been the same pretty much since the start, how to actually process that. But you can pause this screen and have a look, or follow my previous videos for information. So guys, here we go at the C64 Mini carousel screen. So to activate your firmware update, go to settings, system information, and it automatically finds the latest update firmware that you've pasted into your USB stick that's now connected to the Mini. Just apply, and it should only take a minute or two to actually update. So the update is done. So we have 2 new games added. We've got Hessian, which is a game from 2016, so relatively new game I guess in C64 terms, and the other one is along this way called Pet Snake, which is a slightly newer game again, and it's converted from the classic version of Snake last year, which is quite cool. So we can maybe we'll have a look at that one first. So obviously the firmware's been updated. Some of the biggest changes won't be totally apparent here to do with the different file names and things that it can accept, but we can try and look at the multi-disc thing after we've looked at the 2 games. I'll try and find out a multi-disc game that we can test it out on and see if it works. Also maybe the 2-player game, let me see how easy it is to actually switch. So here we go, we've got, oh yeah, so you can default between C64 PAL and NTSC, that's quite cool. Boot mode, so you can now choose if you want to boot straight into the classic as per your old Commodore 64 or straight to the carousel. It really depends what you prefer. You can change your keyboard. Up here, system information, it tells you what your latest firmware is. Switch to classic mode. That's all we can see here. Nothing relatively new, I guess. So let's have a little look at Pet Snake first.
So I guess you need to capture the numbers. The quicker you capture them, the higher your score is, without eating yourself or hitting the sides, I guess. Oh. Wow, high score 20. I think it's one of these ones you really need to maybe dig out a slightly better joystick. The original joystick that comes with it is not the greatest at all. Oh, I've just hit myself. Can't do that. Can't go back yourself. Anyone's played Snake they will know that. Let's see, try and line up before you can get there. That's better. Let's see if we can beat my high score. Oh no. Yay. Yay, that was coincidence. Now we're cooking. Oh no. Oh no, I'm definitely not going to do this now. Ah! Those two. Oh. Oh well, 50 is not too bad. So let's have a look at the other game. This looks interesting. Start new game. Oh, this is cool. Okay. Kind of adventure game, cool. Lots of text, well, this is different. Oh. What happened there? Okay, so there's lots of text at the bottom you can read. Which is weird. Oh. He's just died, hasn't he? So I've got a pistol. Okay, I've loaded the pistol now. Not sure how to fire it though. Oh yeah, just press the fire button. Quite obvious. Hey, this is cool. Oops. Something up there. I need to get it. Is that another pistol? Okay, got the pistol. This is interesting. Oh, thing's firing at me, the robot guy. Ah, knife. I'm gonna die here. How did I get my pistol back? Huh. Ah. Oh, come on. Can't do anything about them. Come on. Ah, more ammo. Just run. The controls are a little bit fiddly. Especially sort of arming your weapons and fists is a bit fiddly. What's going on here? Need the warehouse pass. Ah, I see. This is really quite cool for a Commodore 64 game. Just feel that the sort of controls just seem fiddly. And I've died. So guys, quick check on the changing the joystick port. The way to do it on the original joystick, this is hold down the menu button. So if you hold it down, you either press the A button or B, depending on what joystick port that you want to choose. Now the A button is the first button, where the menu button is, the first one at the opposite end of that. B is the second one. So depending on what joystick port you want to use, A for joystick port 1, B for joystick port 2. So you can chop and change whichever suits, which is a really good thing. I think a lot of people are quite happy with that one. You can see I can't activate anything now because I'm on the wrong joystick port, so change it to 2, and here we go, we're away again, which is really cool. It should help solve a lot of issues with some games that are not compatible with certain joystick ports, which is brilliant. Think of like Emily and Hughes Soccer I had issues with originally. There's lots of other games that default to joystick port 2 or joystick port 1. So something that's quite noticeable is the option to go straight from the basic mode is gone from this screen, so you need to actually choose the options down here and switch to classic mode. This is a bit strange, it was quite good having that shortcut, which takes you straight here. So if you press the menu button when you're on the basic screen, you now have some extra options to choose from. You've got the original options, which you could only get in the carousel previously, and you can sort of scroll through them or exit back to the carousel mode. Or the interesting one here is the media access, which hopefully this should help us. As you can see, there's extra options here for extra discs. So that'll be interesting. Let's see if we can sort of test that out. So let's have a look at like Turricane. I've got this side A here, so it'll be interesting to see how this actually works. See, I guess you need to come back to this screen when it asks you to swap, and then you can choose the sort of side B when it's relevant, and it makes it a lot easier. So let's see. So I press the rocket symbol there. So this generally loads in, then it gets to the point you need to insert the certain disc. So let's see how this works. Okay, get to this section that's turn the disc, so let's try this in theory. Press the menu button, media access, insert that, and there you go, wow. So I've chose that, press the menu button, chose the second disc, and then press the menu button again, and back here we are, we're playing Turrican, which is terrific. So I'm playing this game recently, that's the Turricane Flashback, which has just been released, which is brilliant. Of course it's the Amiga versions that they're using, but the C64 version has always been pretty decent. Classic game, one of the best on the Commodore 64 for sure. Fortunately on here it's not so easy to use, perhaps like the virtual keyboard, which is probably where plugging another one in would be helpful, or a real keyboard. Anyway, that's quite good. I'm glad they've actually sorted that and made it a lot easier to actually swap discs, which is terrific. So guys, thanks for watching our video today. Please like, subscribe. If you get any comments, please add to our social media platforms if you can. Any issues or things you want us to look at. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.